In the tapestry of Sailor Moon, where celestial warriors wield the light of planets and moons, there stands a figure draped not in radiant brilliance, but in shadow and silk. Tuxedo Mask is not the blazing star, but the midnight sky against which light finds its meaning. He is the rose thrown into battle, fragile yet unyielding, beautiful yet armed with thorns. He embodies the paradox of strength that does not conquer, but uplifts, of love that protects without possession, like a dream slipping between past and future. He is both prince and phantom, the guardian of earth and the keeper of a destiny entwined with the moon. To understand him is to step into the quiet philosophy of balance, where power is not measured in destruction, but in the courage to stand beside another's light, and to believe in it until it shines enough to save the world. Tuxedo Mask's civilian name is Mamoru Chiba. Mamoru means to protect or guard, while Chiba consists of two kanji letters. Chi means earth, and Ba means place or field. Combined, Mamoru Chiba means protector of earth. This perfectly ties him directly to his planetary guardianship, the protector of earth and the prince of the planet itself. He was born on August 3rd, making him a Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun, the central star that gives light to all the planets. This symbolizes his role as someone who gives light to the other Sailor Guardians in their darkest of battles. People who are born under this zodiac are known to be loyal, protective, and noble. These qualities echo his character perfectly. His steadfast loyalty, his noble aura, and his destined role as King Endymion. The name Endymion comes from Greek mythology. Endymion was a mortal of extraordinary beauty, often described as a shepherd, hunter, or king. He was loved by Selene, the moon goddess. She asked Zeus to grant him eternal youth, which came in the form of eternal sleep so she could watch over him forever. Selene visited him each night, their love preserved in stillness. This myth parallels Mamoru's eternal bond with Princess Serenity, their eternal love suspended between life and dream. Symbolically, Endymion represents the dream lover, suspended between walking and eternal sleep. Mamoru himself is often caught between worlds, earth and moon, past and future, reality and dreams. His life is marked by visions, reincarnation, and destiny's pull echoing the dreamlike quality of Endymion's myth. He is the wielder of the Golden Crystal. The Golden Crystal is the Earth's counterpart to the Moon's Silver Crystal. While the Silver Crystal embodies the Moon's divine light, purity, and the emotional bond of Sailor Moon and her guardians, the Golden Crystal represents the vital essence of Earth, its dreams, spirit, and inner strength. What makes it even more profound is that this crystal does not exist as an external artifact. It resides within Mamoru himself, deep within his heart. Just as the silver crystal dwells inside Usagi, the golden crystal is the manifestation of Mamoru's soul. This revelation transforms our understanding of him. He is not merely a protector of Sailor Moon, but the guardian and vessel of Earth's very life force. Prince Endymion was the ruler of the Golden Kingdom on Earth. The capital of the Golden Kingdom was Elysium. It is named after Elysium from Greek mythology. According to the legend, it is described as paradise fields which would give its residents a blessed and happy afterlife, and indulge in whatever they had enjoyed in life. Helios is the high priest of Elysium, the sacred realm hidden within the heart of the earth, a place that preserves the earth's purity and dreams. He serves as the guardian of the golden crystal's sanctity. And Elysium was a sanctuary that housed the Tower of Prayer, where the priest Helios would pray in order to receive divine revelations. He would remain in Elysium and pray alongside the Maenads, while Prince Endymion left for the surface of the earth. In the manga and Eternal, Helios calls Mamoru his lord, affirming that the true owner of the golden crystal is none other than Mamoru himself. This establishes a sacred relationship between them. Helios protects the spiritual domain, while Mamoru embodies its living power. Together, they mirror the dual aspects of the earth, the ethereal and the physical, the dream and the walking world. During the dream arc, this bond is brought into focus through the curse cast upon Mamoru by Nehelenia. As he begins to suffer sharp pains in his chest, the narrative shows us that his body is not simply his own. It is the earth's heart made flesh. The curse is not just an attack on Mamoru, but on the planet itself, symbolizing how intimately he is tied to its well-being. Prince Endymion's story begins in the age of the Silver Millennium, when the Moon Kingdom shone like a divine beacon above the earth. Ruled by Queen Serenity and her daughter, the Radiant Princess Serenity, the moon was a realm of peace and light, untouched by the shadows of war and mortality. But Earth was different. Wild, passionate, and deeply human. It pulsed with life, emotion, and longing. Endymion, the prince of this living world, carried within him the heart of its people and the burden of their destiny. But the heart of the prince was not bound by duty alone. It was ruled by love. One night, his gaze turned upward and he saw her, Princess Serenity, a being of light and grace who descended from the moon. Their love was forbidden by cosmic law, for the moon and earth were meant to remain apart. Yet, love is a force greater than law. It is the rhythm of creation itself. Serenity and Endymion met in secret gardens, beneath skies of silver and gold, drawn together by love that transcends worlds. In her, he saw purity and peace. In him, she found warmth and humanity. They were opposites, light and soil, serenity and passion, and yet they completed each other. Their love, however, became the spark that ignited tragedy. The Dark Kingdom, led by Queen Beryl and fueled by the dark entity Metalia, envied the peace of the moon and the beauty of Serenity. Beryl herself loved Endymion obsessively, and when he rejected her love for that of the Moon Princess, her heart filled with envy and despair. She turned to darkness, and under Metalia's influence, she led an army of corrupted humans to wage a war against the Moon Kingdom. The earth burned in chaos. The moon wept in sorrow. Endymion, refusing to abandon his people or his love, fought to protect Serenity until the end. But even his courage could not stop fate. In the ruins of the Silver Millennium, he was struck down before Serenity's eyes. In her grief, the princess took her own life, unable to bear a world without him. Their love ended in tragedy, their souls bound together by death and destiny. Queen Serenity, mourning her daughter and the fall of her kingdom, used the last of her power to seal away the darkness and send the souls of her daughter, Endymion, and the Guardians to be reborn on Earth in future age. Thus the cycle began anew, the moon and Earth destined to meet again, their love reborn under mortal names. Endymion's past is not merely a tale of romance and loss. It is a metaphor for the human condition. He represents the yearning of the earth to touch the heavens, the mortal desire to connect with something eternal. His bond with Princess Serenity represents the eternal dance between earth and moon, mortality and divinity, man and spirit. Though their love ended in tragedy, it was never truly destroyed. It only transformed, reborn again and again, through the cycle of life. In Endymion's fall and rebirth, we see the truth that love is not bound by time or death. It is the very force that holds the universe together. His story teaches us that even in darkness, love endures, quietly, patiently, waiting for the right lifetime to bloom again. Through him, we are reminded that love is not bound by time, nor defeated by death. It is the most ancient and powerful energy in existence. The same energy that moves the planets, gives life to Earth, and rekindles the light of the moon. Every hero wears a mask, but for Mamoru, the mask is more than a disguise. It is a doorway between lifetimes. Within him dwell fragments of many selves. The prince who once ruled the earth, the boy who lost everything, and the mysterious figure who moves through shadows to protect the light he cannot yet remember. His struggle is not with enemies alone, but with the silent fracture within his own soul. Mamoru's life begins with absence. Orphaned at a young age from a car accident that stripped him of both his parents and his memories, he is forced into an existence of profound loneliness. His rootless beginning shapes his entire character. His yearning for identity, his pursuit of fragments of truth, and his cautious relationship with intimacy. Unlike Usagi, who was surrounded by warmth and friendship, Mamoru grows up isolated, cultivating a sharp intellect and a reserved exterior. His emotional walls are not cruelty, but protection, a defense against a world that has already taken too much from him. His aloofness at first glance might be mistaken for coldness, but beneath it lies a fragile boy who once lost everything and who now clings tightly to the bonds he finally finds. When his parents died, a part of him was buried with them. The boy named Mamoru lost not only his family, but the very foundation of himself. Trauma hollowed him, leaving behind an echo, a void waiting to be filled. In this emptiness, something ancient stirred, the spirit of Endymion, the earth's lost prince, still seeking the moon's light. It is from this inner void that Tuxedo Mask was born, a mask not only to hide behind, but to survive behind. His persona is the subconscious projection of a self trying to remember who it was before the fall, before the forgetting. This identity crisis mirrors the human condition itself. We are all born forgetful of who we truly are, souls thrown into the world, seeking the missing pieces of ourselves through others. His multiple selves, Endymion, Mamoru, and Tuxedo Mask, represents the eternal dialogue between the past self, the present self, and the ideal self. He is a living metaphor for every person who has looked into the mirror and asked, "Who am I, really?" His mind becomes the battlefield of this question. The dreams that haunt him, visions of a silver princess, of love and loss, are fragments of a forgotten eternity breaking through the surface of consciousness. In psychological terms, they are repressed memories returning from the unconscious. In mythical terms, they are the voice of the soul trying to awaken. His amnesia is not merely medical, it is spiritual amnesia, the loss of memory that separates man from his divine origin. His creation of the persona Tuxedo Mask is a defense mechanism, a symbolic way of coping with his fragmented identity. By becoming someone else, Mamoru can give purpose and direction to the confusion inside him. The mask becomes both his protection and his prison. It hides his pain, but also keeps him distant from others. In psychological terms, Tuxedo Mask represents the ideal self Mamoru wishes to be, brave, composed, and in control, in contrast to the lost and uncertain boy he once was. Tuxedo Mask is, above all, a study of identity, of what happens when the soul is split by trauma, death, and rebirth. His life is an echo chamber of memory and forgetting, love and loss, illusion and truth. To understand him is to step into the labyrinth of the human psyche itself, where the boundaries between past and present, dream and reality, self and shadow begin to blur. Tuxedo Mask as an identity exists between worlds. He is not the man he was, nor the man he will be. He is the transitional self, the archetype of rebirth. The tuxedo, the mask, the roses, these are ritual symbols of transformation, ways for Mamoru to bridge the gap between his mortal uncertainty and his immortal destiny. Beneath the mask, the boy learns to become the prince again, to reconcile what was lost with what is being reborn. In Tuxedo Mask, we see the poetry of the divided spirit, a man wearing masks not to deceive the world, but to find the face that time and tragedy once erased. His story whispers an eternal truth, that we are all wanderers between who we were and who we are becoming, forever seeking the light that will remind us of our forgotten name. The Moonlight Night appears in Sailor Moon R, when Mamoru temporarily loses his memories after being revived. At first glance, he seems like a new character, a mysterious Arabian-like figure in white who appears to protect Sailor Moon and the Sailor Senshi. But the truth is far more than symbolic. The Moonlight Knight is not separate from Mamoru at all. He is the manifestation of Mamoru's subconscious, the part of his soul that still remembers his mission to protect Usagi, even when his conscious mind does not. After the events of the Dark Kingdom, Mamoru's life and memories are shattered once again. He forgets who he is, who Usagi is, and the love they shared. But his soul, tied to hers through countless lifetimes, cannot forget. The Moonlight Knight is born from that enduring devotion, a spiritual fragment that breaks away from Mamoru's heart and takes form to continue his purpose. Dressed in white Arabian robes instead of black, the Moonlight Knight represents the pure, dreamlike essence of Tuxedo Mask, the protector stripped of identity, born only from love and duty. Psychologically, the Moonlight Knight can be seen as an expression of dissociation of the unconscious self. When trauma or loss becomes too overwhelming, the mind sometimes separates a part of itself to carry what the conscious self cannot bear. For Mamoru, that part is his love and his will to protect Usagi. His amnesia erased his memories, but it could not erase his essence. So his unconscious created an autonomous version of himself to act when he could not, a phenomenon often described as a merge of a split self in response to emotional fragmentation. Symbolically, the Moonlight Knight is light where Tuxedo Mask is shadow. The black tuxedo represented the mystery, restrained, and guarded emotions of Mamoru's earthly nature. The white robes of the Moonlight Knight, however, reflected clarity, purity, and spiritual love. He is Mamoru's higher self, unattained by fear, detached from ego, existing only to serve and protect. He emerges from the realm of dreams and disappears just as quietly, reminding us that he is not flesh, but spirit, an echo of the man Mamoru once was and is destined to become again. The Moonlight Knight teaches us that love is so powerful it transcends the mind's forgetfulness. Even when memory fails, the soul remembers. Mamoru's body may have forgotten Usagi, but his spirit continued to protect her, proving that true connection lives beyond logic, beyond memory, beyond even the boundaries of self. Thus, Mamoru's identity disorder is not a symptom to be cured, but a journey to be understood. It is the alchemy of the fractured self, where trauma becomes awakening, where loss becomes remembrance. And every lifetime he rediscovers who he is by rediscovering who he loves. His confusion, his amnesia, his shifting identities, all are the necessary passages of a soul learning to be whole again. Tuxedo Mask's psychology is therefore a study of healing through self-discovery. He represents the human journey of losing oneself and finding wholeness again through love, memory, and meaning. His amnesia, his alter ego, and his inner conflict all reflect the universal struggle to understand who we are beneath the roles we play. He begins as a boy haunted by dreams, uncertain of his identity, but through courage and connection, he becomes a man who no longer hides behind the mask, because he finally remembers who he is. In the radiant world of Sailor Moon, where cosmic warriors fight for love and justice, Tuxedo Mask stands apart. He is not defined by transformation sequences or overwhelming magical powers. Instead, his strength lies in presence, in faith, and in the quiet power of guidance. While Sailor Moon embodies illumination, the emotional and spiritual power of love, Tuxedo Mask embodies the grounding force of reason, protection, and balance. Together they form the perfect union of soul and body, heart and mind. From the very beginning, Mamoru Chiba's path is shaped by both mystery and loss. He appears as a lone figure, haunted by dreams of a princess and a crystal he does not understand. Drawn by an invisible pull, he becomes Tuxedo Mask, a masked vigilante searching for meaning through fragmented memories. His role at first seems small and enigmatic. He appears only to throw roses, to offer words of courage, or to protect Sailor Moon in her moments of weakness. But these gestures are symbolic. His roses are not only weapons, they are reminders of love, beauty, and hope blooming even in darkness. As the story unfolds, his role deepens beyond that of a mysterious savior. He becomes a reflection of Sailor Moon's emotional growth, where she learns to lead through compassion. He learns to support through faith. He teaches her that strength does not always roar. It can also whisper, protect, and endure. Mamoru is not meant to overshadow her light, but to steady it, to remind her that she is never alone in her fight. In many ways, his role is that of an emotional anchor, the force that brings stability to their overwhelming chaos of their destinies. Tuxedo Mask's presence in the story is also a mirror for the audience. He represents the quiet, often unseen form of heroism, the one who stands behind the light rather than beneath it. His power is symbolic of masculine principle in balance with the feminine. Where Sailor Moon heals with empathy, Tuxedo Mask protects with wisdom. He brings the grounded energy of the earth to complete her celestial grace, showing that true partnership is not competition, but harmony. Through the relationship, the series redefines power, not as a domination or conquest, but as mutual devotion. He is her protector, not because she is weak, but because their love is reciprocal. She saves his soul just as he shields her heart. Tuxedo Mask's character reminds us that every great light casts a shadow, and even the brightest hero needs someone to hold the darkness for them. His role is to carry faith when Sailor Moon falters, to remind her of her worth when she forgets, and to stand as the silent witness to her transformation. In him, we see that the most profound kind of strength is not loud or visible. It is the strength to believe, to endure, and to love without fear. Ultimately, Tuxedo Mask's role in Sailor Moon is not just to fight alongside the Sailor Senshi, but to represent the enduring truth that love and destiny are two sides of the same coin. He is the protector of the heart, the embodiment of human loyalty and devotion in a story filled with cosmic power. Through his eyes, we understand that even in a universe of stars, the greatest force of all is not magic, but love. The kind of love that grounds the moonlight to the earth and makes both shine brighter together. King Endymion is the future self of Mamoru Chiba, the man who has transcended pain, memory, and uncertainty to become the guardian king of Earth and the embodiment of its eternal soul. He appears as a vision from the 30th century, a ruler of the Crystal Tokyo era, where peace, prosperity, and light have spread across the planet under the guidance of Neo-Queen Serenity and King Endymion. Yet beneath this regal calm and radiant power lies a profound spiritual truth. King Endymion is not merely Mamoru grown older, but the fully realized version of his soul, the man he has been struggling to remember, and the one he has always meant to become. Where Prince Endymion embodied innocence and idealistic love, and Tuxedo Mask represented struggle and self-discovery, King Endymion stands for integration, the reconciliation of all his former selves. He has unified the prince's courage, the hero's intellect, and the human's vulnerability into a single consciousness rooted in wisdom. His power, derived from the Golden Crystal, now shines without hesitation. The uncertainty that once haunted him has transformed into serenity, and the mask that once separated him from his true self has fallen away. In this form, Mamoru has finally become the living spirit of the earth itself, its guardian, ruler, and healer. King Endymion's appearance in the series is ethereal and symbolic. Cloaked in royal violet and surrounded by an aura of calm power, he speaks to the Sailor Senshi as both guide and protector. His presence reflects a concept found in both philosophy and psychology, the higher self, the part of the soul that transcends ego, time, and suffering. When Mamoru meets King Endymion, it is more than an encounter with his future. It is a meeting with his own potential. He sees what he could become if he learns to live from love rather than fear, purpose rather than doubt. King Endymion represents self-actualization, the highest stage of human development, where all contradictions within the self are harmonized. Symbolically, he mirrors Neo-Queen Serenity, who is the future form of Usagi. Together, they embody the union of the sun and moon, earth and heaven, masculine and feminine, a sacred partnership that sustains the balance of their world. King Endymion's power is not separated from Serenity's, but interwoven with hers. Much like Mamoru's golden crystal and Usagi's silver crystal mirror each other, their reign as king and queen signifies the ultimate harmony between emotion and intellect, compassion and strength, the accumulation of everything their young selves struggled to achieve. King Endymion represents inner maturity and the peace that comes after reconciliation with one's past. Mamoru's younger self was often haunted by uncertainty, identity loss, and loneliness, but Endymion has accepted every version of himself: the lost boy, the masked hero, the dreaming prince, and transformed those wounds into wisdom. He stands as proof that healing is not the erasure of pain, but the understanding of it. His calm and reflecting demeanor shows that true strength does not roar. It radiates quietly, rooted in love and purpose. Spiritually, King Endymion also embodies the archetype of the philosopher king, the one who rules not through dominance, but through enlightenment. His power comes from connection to his people, to his planet, to the cosmic order itself. He is a man who has transcended the need for masks and battles, becoming instead the guardian of peace, order, and spiritual truth. In his rule, the earth and moon are finally in harmony, their eternal love no longer tragic but fulfilled. Ultimately, King Endymion is the destiny that awaits Mamoru, the final expression of his evolution. He represents what every soul strives for: balance, wisdom, and inner peace. Through him, we see that love matures into devotion, that strength evolves into guidance. He is not the prince who dreams or the hero who fights. He is the man who understands the still points at the center of all motion. Mamoru's powers are unlike those of the Sailor Guardians, where they fight with planetary energy and radiant destruction. His abilities are quiet, deliberate, and deeply symbolic. He does not overpower his enemies. He disrupts them, intervening at just the right moment to shift the course of battle. His strength is subtle, an expression of intellect, faith, and emotional grounding rather than raw force. Every gesture, every attack carries meaning. His power is the poetry of presence, the strength that restores balance and reminds others of their own light. His most iconic move is the rose throw, a single crimson rose hurled with precision to strike the ground or an enemy's weapon. The rose, delicate yet dangerous, embodies beauty wrapped in resilience. Its bloom symbolizes hope and love, while its thorns warn of the pain that always accompanies devotion. Unlike the destructive powers of the senshi, his rose is a protective gesture. It stops evil rather than destroys it. This act mirrors Mamoru's inner nature. He intervenes not to dominate, but to awaken strength in others. His presence itself becomes an act of healing, a reminder that sometimes all a person needs to keep fighting is to know that they are not alone. In the manga and Sailor Moon Crystal, his most powerful named attack, Tuxedo La Smoking Bomber, reveals another layer of his strength. Gathering energy into his hands, he releases a burst of power that shatters darkness. The smoking in its name evokes mystery, illusion, and transformation, the essence of his masked persona. Though he rarely uses it, this attack symbolizes his hidden potential, the quiet truth that even those who walk beside heroes possess deep reserves of strength. It reflects his character's subtle heroism, power unveiled only when the world truly needs it. Beyond combat, Mamoru's psychic and telepathic abilities reveal his profound emotional intelligence. He senses when Usagi is in danger, dreams of approaching calamities, and communicates across great distances through intuition alone. These gifts root him in empathy rather than aggression. He stands as a bridge between dream and reality, between mind and heart, embodying foresight and emotional awareness. This sensitivity marks him as a soul attuned to unseen currents, an anchor of connection who understands others without words. Mamoru's healing powers deepen this symbolism even further. Through energy transfer and golden light, he restores the strengths of others, often at his own expense. This makes him the archetypal wounded healer, one who, because he has suffered deeply, knows how to soothe the pain of others. His own losses, his parents, his memories, his sense of self have carved empathy into his soul. His healing energy is gentle and sustaining, a quiet kind of power that does not destroy, but mends. It reflects a deeper truth, that real power is not found in destruction, but in restoration, in the ability to renew what has been broken. His cane or staff adds yet another layer of symbolism. Wielding both as a weapon and a symbol of guidance, it reflects authority, tempered by grace. Unlike a sword which cuts and conquers, the cane stabilizes. It is a tool of balance. This weapon of elegance suits him perfectly, a gentle protector who fights not with fury, but with clarity. When viewed together, Tuxedo Mask's power tells a profound story. The rose represents hope, the smoking bomber, hidden strength, his psychic gifts, intuition, and empathy, his healing heart's endurance, the golden crystal, the soul of the earth, the cane, wisdom and stability, and King Endymion, the realization of destiny. Each ability reflects an aspect of his identity, and together they form a portrait of a man whose power lies not in domination, but in balance. He reminds us that true strength is not the ability to destroy, but the courage to protect, to believe, and to keep love alive even in the darkest hour. In the end, Mamoru Chiba's story is not simply the tale of a man who loved a girl from the moon. It is the story of a soul that wandered through lifetimes searching for itself, breaking and healing, forgetting and remembering, until love led it home. From Prince Endymion's doomed devotion to Tuxedo Mask's quiet resilience, and finally to King Endymion's serene wisdom, his journey is the map of the human heart, the long sacred path from separation to wholeness. He began as a boy without memory, a heart fractured by loss, yet from that emptiness bloomed the love that outlived time itself. The roses he threw were never weapons, but prayers, red petals of faith scattered in the universe that had once forgotten him. His mask was never meant to hide. It was a bridge, a symbol of self still learning to believe in its own light. Through pain and rebirth, he learned what it meant to protect, not through power, but through presence, to stand firm even when uncertain, to love even when lost. As Tuxedo Mask, he was the shadow that steadied the light. As Prince Endymion, he was the dreamer who dared to love the moon. As King Endymion, he became the stillness after the storm, a man who finally remembered every version of himself and found peace in their union. Together, these selves form the eternal circle of his being, the boy, the protector, the king. Each one a petal of the same rose, each one a phase of the same soul. His journey reminds us that love is not a moment, but a continuum, an energy that transcends lifetimes, death, and despair. It is the force that turns tragedy into rebirth, shadow into dawn, memory into destiny. Mamoru's soul is the heart of the earth itself, strong yet tender, quiet yet infinite, grounding the celestial beauty of the moon in the warmth of human devotion. And so, he stands, not merely as a knight, nor a prince, nor even a king, but as a symbol of eternal love. His story teaches us that even in a universe filled with galaxies and stars, The greatest power is not light itself, but the heart that chooses to love within the darkness, the one that asks for nothing, the one that endures in silence, and the power to love without end. Love for him was never a victory or a destiny to be fulfilled. It was a promise kept across centuries, a vow whispered through time. His life reminds us that true strength is not born from perfection, but from the courage to keep believing after every fall. For even when the petals have withered and the night grows cold, the rose of his love still blooms, quietly, endlessly, in the heart of the earth.